Hey everyone, we are back again with another penny stock video. As usual, we're going to be focusing mostly on these OTC markets penny stocks. And before we jump in, I just want to preface this by saying OTC stocks are ripping hot right now, guys. Ripping hot. We are seeing runners left and right, just tons of trades to be made, tons of swing trades to be made, big movers, 100%, 200%, 300% moves. We don't often get these kinds of extreme bull cycles in OTC. So when they happen, you need to make sure that you're doing your homework, you're paying attention, and you're taking advantage and capitalizing on the opportunities that present themselves. Take advantage of liquid markets. Take advantage of hot markets. Do not be asleep at the wheel, right? So to preface again, before we jump into this video, not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. I'm an idiot. Blah, blah, blah. Okay? Got that out of the way. You can read my disclaimers and disclosures all in the description. So let's jump into this. I have a mining themed episode. So we're going to be looking at three really exciting mining technologies companies. And the first one we're looking at here is OSCI, Osceola Gold. And this is a company, if you have been trading OTC since, past couple years, you've probably heard of OSCI because they did an epic run back in fall of 2021. Let's bring up the chart. And if we go to the 2-year, you can see, boom, huge run in fall of 2021 where the stock hit 40 cents, provided insane returns. And since then, it's been a slow bleed back down. So what happened? And why are we excited about this company once again? Well, to be frank, previous management made quite a bit of mistakes and did not provide a good direction for this company for a long time. So what has now happened as of more recently is, the higher ups at OSCI have said, no more, old management's out, in with the new. Let's get the ball rolling again. Let's turn this ship around. That's exactly what they've done. They've actually produced some excellent results so far, and we're going to be taking a look at how they've turned this company around for the better and why we're excited again, right? So as you can see on the chart, it's starting to do a big breakout here. I mean, we legged up once. We were able to hold this base here around the 3 cent mark, the 2.5 cent mark, and now we've done another leg up. It just hit almost 8 cents about a week ago. And, took a dip down. People were taking their profits. They thought it was a pump, but now obviously the stock has held once again at a higher base once again. And we're looking at another possible breakout here with this green candle on Friday of last week. So this is definitely going to be one to watch. Why is it one to watch? Well, some exciting stuff has happened with this company as of late. Like I said, they're turning the ship around. They're getting things legit. They're in full operations now. And that a lot of that is because of this right here. So September 22nd, just a couple weeks ago, they received $2 million in private placement funding. And this private placement funding, as you can see here, is non-dilutive. So this is not going to dilute shareholders. There's not going to be any note conversions, nothing like that. This is straight up $2 million in funding for operations. You can see we are proud to report that operations have already commenced with a dedicated staff of 10 on-site workers operating for a full 10-hour day. So these guys have a gold mine in Nevada that can actually produce quite a bit of gold, and now they're in full operations again with kind of a reformed management at the helm, and they're actually in the process of looking for a CEO that's really a professional CEO. They want to bring in somebody that has great mining experience and has actually done well with mines in the past. So I look forward to seeing who they select as the new CEO, but it's great to see that operations are up and running now. And let's take a look at how much gold they can actually get out of this thing, and it's quite a bit. So based on independent study reports and the volume of dirt processed thus far, the mine is projecting a production rate of 100 to 125 tons per hour. And then from these tons per hour, the yield is they're looking at estimated yield 0.5 gram to 1 gram of gold per ton of dirt on average, resulting in estimated production rate of 2 to 4 ounces of gold per hour, or a yield of 20 to 30 ounces of gold per day. That is quite a significant yield of gold, especially for a mine in the OTC, because guys, quite frankly, going to be honest, a lot of the mining companies in OTC are barely even real companies. So when you do find the real miners in OTC, it's a gem. It is a diamond in the rough. It's something special when there's a real mining company in the OTC that's producing gold at this amount I mean, that's really it's really a rare find, and it makes it extra attractive to investors and traders in the OTC markets, because anything that's like, wow, this is a gem, this is unique, people love that. And so we have something very unique here with Osceola Gold. And then let's take a look at their Twitter. And so we can see right here from Friday tweet, Monday is going to be their investor day. There will be investors at site, to my understanding. They're inviting pretty much anyone that wants to go take a look at their mine. You can go show up and be a part of investor day. And then it says right here, and this is the real gold to me as a momentum trader that works with a lot of speculation and things like that. They say right here, we have a few big announcements leading into October next week. And I've talked about in the videos before how speculation and anticipation can really drive price action in a positive way in the OTC. And so we have, it says right here, multiple big announcements coming up in October. That's something for people to look forward to, and I think that's going to create a lot of anticipation and speculation, especially because their last press release was so good and so positive. You would expect them to follow up with something strong, which I think they will. And, again, it's all about the speculation. It's all about the anticipation. As traders, that's what we love, and that's what we go after. So great to see them post that. And also, they've posted here for some proof that their operations are real. Right here, they have a live stream they did, half an hour long, of them on site doing the operations and mining gold. So let's actually just, I'll give you guys a preview of this. You can go watch this.
He's digging out Hoggum Tunnel. Alright, so we're up here today. We're at our dig site. It's called MAVG. We've got our excavator up top. He's digging out Hoggum Tunnel. That's where we're finding our large gold deposits today. He's loading up that rock truck right there with all that material. And in a few minutes, once that rock truck there gets loaded up, we're going to be driving down the hill to our plant. And that's going to end up running through our D-rocker and then through our sluice box. We're showing you guys that here shortly. Thank you guys for tuning in. Appreciate it. We're out here with Osceola Gold.
So that's enough of that. That's just a little preview of their mining site. Again, you can go watch the full video on their Twitter. It's pretty cool to see these companies show off their operations and everything like that. And I do very much look forward to seeing if they show off anything from their investor day on Monday as well, which is tomorrow as I'm uploading this video. So very much a lot to look forward to. Also, let's take a look at their share structure real quick. You can see it's an 82 million held at DTC float. That's what we use as the float, as I've said before, is the held at DTC. That's the shares that are trading in the free market. That's the real float. Ignore this. This is never accurate. And then ignore this stuff because a lot of these aren't free trading, right? We want to be looking at the held at DTC. That's the float. That's what we use as reference. Here it's 82 million. That's an excellent share structure. I mean, anything under 100 million shares is considered a very tight share structure. And what happens is when, and again, I've talked about in other videos, what happens when we have a small share structure and there's not a lot of shares available on the market and there's high demand for shares? Well, you see volatile price action. Particularly, we're hoping to the upside, right? Every time we take a trade, we're looking for the upside. So, but that's what can really create a volatile move to the upside, is having a high demand for shares when there's not a lot of shares available in the market. So great to see that as well. That's OSCI. Let's move forward to SDRC, another really cool mining company in the OTC that perfectly fits the theme of this video. These guys are actually mining for gold as well, but they're also in mining technologies, and everything they're doing is super fascinating, and they're doing things at a really high scale. These guys are actually pretty incredibly undervalued, in my opinion. Not a financial advisor, not a financial analyst, not a licensed jack shit, so keep that in mind. But these are all my opinions, and I'm sharing my opinions to you. So this is the SDRC 3-year chart, and I want to start with the chart on this one because the chart tells an interesting story right off the bat. And this is the 3-year chart. And what we have here is like this massive bull flag that's forming. And, you know, it just has really consistently held a base here. And now we have this attempt at a breakout that's been happening as of recently. And if we see a breakout here, it can really make a big move. You can see its previous breakout hit almost 30 cents. It's at 16 cents now, so you're looking at about 100% move potential, if not more. I think possibly more, because the company has evolved significantly from back then when it was almost 30 cents. The company's fundamentals have actually improved, right? And we see this a lot with the OTC markets now, because so many stocks were beaten down during the bear market that they've now become tremendous values and tremendous opportunities as a result. So let's zoom in a little bit to the 1-year chart. You can see it's just stuck in this range, but again, we're making a really strong attempt at a breakout now on the chart. So I would love to see continuation of this breakout, but this is our level here, right? This 18.5 cent level is really a key level. If you get over that, you can see some tremendous upside. But let's also look at the accumulation line. This is what really tells the story here. I mean, the longs on this stock, you could really call it a cult stock. It has very dedicated, passionate shareholders. They're all over social media. If you search this ticker, you can find a lot of research they've done on it. But the accumulation line proves that they're dedicated and passionate about this company, because look at this. You almost never see this. This is just a straight shot up. I mean, this just doesn't go down. And what the accumulation line tells us when it just keeps going up like this is it tells us that people are locking the float, they're buying shares, and they're holding shares. They're not flipping them, they're not selling them. And again, this takes shares out of the free trading market, and it reduces the amount of shares available for purchase on the free trading market. So it makes the float even lower than it actually is. And if we look at the float, we're looking at 117 million float. So pretty similar to OSCI. A fantastic float. I mean, 100 million is like really a great number for a float. It's like liquid enough that plenty of people can trade it, but it's also small enough that it can create these high demand, low supply type of situations where you can see that parabolic price action and huge moves to the upside, right? So you have a lot of, just from the chart alone and the accumulation in the float alone, there's a lot of positive things to say about SDRC at first glance. But let's really take a deeper dive into what the company's been doing, why they're so exciting, and how they're innovating in their field, right? So they have this laser technology, and you can see on July 5th, Sydney Resources announced this press release, right? Sydney Resources revolutionizes the mining industry with successful laser testing at the Colorado School of Mines. So, you know, obviously they're working with a prestigious school here, the Colorado School of Mines. But here's the thing that really gets me with this press release is here. This groundbreaking development in laser spalling technology is set to transform the mining and construction sectors, attracting the attention of investors, governments, and mining equipment manufacturers worldwide. Rewind real quick. Did they just say governments? They did just say governments. They're kind of, you know, telling you guys ahead of time that, hey, we're probably going to have government interest and government contracts and grants and things like that, right? Because that's what results ultimately from government interest in companies is you get these grants, you get government contracts, etc. And they're basically telling us all ahead of time, hey guys, you know, look forward to this. We'll probably have some government contracts coming in. So this is really a revolutionary laser technology, and what it's doing is it's mining the rock, but with lasers. It says right here, by eliminating the need for explosives, this technology enhances worker safety and reduces the environmental impact. Moreover, laser spalling proves to be a cost-effective solution, optimizing resource utilization, delivering long-term savings. What's not to love about anything they've just said in this press release? You can see they have photographs of how the lasers actually work. And go read this PR in full for yourselves, because you'll see there's a lot of good nuggets in this PR. And it's really awesome to see that they're not just about producing rock and producing gold, but they're also in this technology development area where they can truly be an innovator and a breakout company. So that's really cool to see. Let's move on to more of the recent press releases. Here's from August 23rd. Sydney Resources Corporation reports high-grade gold assays up to 171 grams per ton gold from initial testing at the Walla Walla project. So this is just one of their projects, and they provide an aerial view of this mine for you. And again, I really want to stress, this is just one mine, and they have multiple mines. And we can see right here, Walla Walla project located within the Marshall Lake Mining District of Idaho County, approximately 10 miles from Sydney's Lucky Bend project, which is another project that SDRC is involved with. And the Walla Walla mine is a high-grade gold vein located near the historic Kimberley mining district, which successfully produced over 1 million ounces of gold. So this is a gold-rich region, and they expect to produce, a very large amount of gold from this mine and from this particular project. 171 grams per ton is a very significant number, and it's going to yield a ton of gold, which is going to yield a ton of assets for the company. And, that's just fantastic for investors. And again, this is just one project. So let's take a look at another project, the Lucky Ben project. Here's their portable mill, released September 11th PR. And this is just a snapshot of the Lucky Ben project and how they're preparing for the winter with this portable mill that they're going to be using. And we're going to dig a little deeper into what these projects are actually going to yield in terms of dollar value. And shout out to my boy SFLM on Twitter. I've talked to this guy quite a bit. He's always been super passionate about SDRC. He actually puts out a lot of great stuff on Twitter, so give him a follow. He does a really good job. But he talks about Lucky Ben can generate $46 million in annual profit at 3 ounces per ton. This is just one vein in one of their mines. So that is massive. We're talking about they have, several veins of several mines that they're working with, and just one of these veins from one mine, we're looking at a potential of $46 million in annual profit, not revenue, profit. I mean, wild numbers for a company. If we go back, this is a $59 million market cap, and these are wild numbers that are coming into this ticker that justify a significantly higher market cap than 59 million. I mean, that's a joke for what these guys are doing, just looking at the numbers, right? Anyone can see that. 46 million in profit. Crazy. So thank you, SFLM, for sharing all of this. But again, this is just one project they're working on. And here we have a tweet from the CEO, Sean Ray Zalewski, and he says, conservatively, we are looking at 2 tons an hour with our current mill. Obviously, that equals more than 25 tons a day, but we are being conservative on all calculations. The next mill we are inquiring on is 130 tons per day. More will be published soon on why more tons per day being processed will be needed. So obviously, they're looking at adding more mills, more mines, more veins to their portfolio. They're looking at doing more and more tons as time goes on. And this tweet was September 29th, 2023. So we haven't gotten a press release about what this next mill is yet and more details. So that's a forward-looking catalyst we have for people to speculate on, for people to anticipate. And just like we said with OSCI, we love forward-looking catalysts. We love anticipation. We love speculation. This is what really drives price action in the OTC. So everything about this just looks phenomenal. If we scroll up a little bit, these are simplified, but provide a glance at different scenarios. This is directly from the CEO. And again, look at this. PE value multiple. You're looking at almost 250 million. So just extremely undervalued. One of the most exciting minor plays in OTC. And it also, again, with the accumulation line, we can see that it has a very dedicated investor base that's not letting go of this thing. They're not flipping. They're not dumping. These guys are accumulating more and more stock every day. So we will see if this breakout can get continuation, because if it can and it can bust over that 18.5 cent mark, then you're really looking at something special there. So that is Sydney Resources, SDRC. Let's move on to the fan favorite, ladies and gentlemen. Round of applause for SFLM. This stock has just been doing tremendously well. We found it at Trips 5. It's just Dubs 2.5 now. That's a 5x move already, and it's looking like it has a lot more upside. So, I just wanted to give a quick update on SFLM because I've already done 2 more in-depth videos about all the due diligence here and why it's so exciting. What we think it's going to be is a pretty large geothermal technologies company coming in as a merger, and basically, like I said in the last video, we're just waiting on Pink Current. It's Pink Yield right now. They've already submitted their filings that were needed, as well as attorney letters. So any day now, this is going to go Pink Current, and I'm sure that management has something up their sleeves to announce because they've been working on this for a good year now. They've been working on this, on cleaning up this shell and getting it ready for merger and doing all the things necessary. So, you know, everyone is looking forward to seeing that pink current hit and then seeing some communication out of the company to confirm all of our research and speculation. So just wanted to give a little update on what's going on with SFLM. Just tell you guys, yeah, we're still waiting on pink. We're still very much anticipating some big press releases and big news to come out after pink current hits. And here's our chart. And you can see it's a gorgeous chart. It's just, this is a staircase, they call it, a stair stepper, you know, where it legs up, it tests support, it legs up again. And so we've seen it happen multiple times here. Leg up, test support, leg up again, test support, leg up again, test support, legged up again, test support again, and now we're in full breakout mode. You see this very strong candle close on Friday. It's looking like it's getting ready for its next leg up. I mean, this thing has no breaks. And if you look at the accumulation line here, straight up, just parabolic. And again, what does this tell us? It means everyone here is buying and holding, right? There's very little dumping, there's very little flipping. It's really just a buy and hold game, and the accumulation line tells us that. So, you know, you could say, okay, the MACD is looking a little hot, or the RSI is looking a little hot, but quite frankly, SFLM, there's huge expectations for SFLM to really outperform the market. And when we have a case like that, I don't care about your standard indicators, because your standard indicators are for regular performing stocks. Everyone wants this to outperform. So of course the indicators are going to run hot at times. Why wouldn't they? In fact, I'd expect them to, because that's what outperforming is when you're breaking the chart, you're breaking the technicals, etc. So if you expect a stock to outperform the market, then expect it to ride high on some of the technicals. That's not a bad thing. It just means it's doing its job and outperforming. So, you know, this is just a little update I wanted to provide as well with the due diligence, because this happened just 2 days ago. This is Saeed Salehi on LinkedIn. He's the leading researcher behind the geothermal project that we expect to go into SFLM. And as you can see from 2 days ago, they are going to be participating in the Geothermal Rising Conference and bringing their drill to demonstrate as well. And so this is another geothermal competition for research teams and students, and I'd expect them to win again because they won last year. So this is the leading research team for this kind of stuff in the whole country, and SFLM and Deep Power are highly involved with this. So or at least speculated to be. We know Deep Power is. We're just speculating that Deep Power is going into SFLM. And if you watch my due diligence video on SFLM that I put out last week, you would know why. Literally every single sign points to it being this. I can't really imagine it being anything but this. So that was just another quick due diligence update for SFLM. We have this to look forward to, seeing the results of the Geothermal Rising Conference. I'm sure Oklahoma's team will do well. And you know, we eagerly await pink current in the meantime, and we eagerly await the press releases and tweets from the company so they start communicating on their end. And I really want to emphasize that this is, I still think we're kind of just getting started here. I know the stock has made a big move already, but we haven't even heard a word from the company yet. I mean, we haven't even gotten a PR, not even a tweet. We're not even pink current, guys. There's a million catalysts still that are coming for this stock that can propel the price higher. So that's why it's the fan favorite, I call it. That's why you see all over Twitter SFLM, because it's just a beautiful, classic, big swing setup that really takes me back to the stop sign days of OTC, where we saw 10x, 20x runs. I do think SFLM is a very strong candidate for that. So that's our mining episode, guys. 3 super exciting mining companies in the OTC. All of them are looking on the charts like they could do a breakout imminently, right? We have OSCI, $2 million in funding closed, more announcements coming in October, and on Investor Day on Monday. So Investor Day should bring us some news, and then we have, again, they said multiple big announcements for October, so that can be great. SDRC, we're waiting on news for the next mill, which is going to produce even more tons of gold. And again, just a pretty crazy company doing crazy things at a very undervalued market cap. And then we have SFLM, which is just huge speculation and huge anticipation that's driving this price forward and forward every day. So thank you very much for watching, guys, and I will see you next week.